So I had a dream there was this warden like guy asked to borrow money from his it's kinda like he has a bunch of orphans or just like kids, teens and adult children working for him, but they also live with him, so they are basically his children and he is their father legally, but he would like have them do some of his business work. And basically, old white guy with curly old gray hair, tall guy. And I remember having to, it was a weird dream, man. And I feel like I've had this dream before. I had an old truck with a bunch of stuff in it, old messy truck. And, but I'll get to that part. Um, but I'm in there and I finally want to close my loan with him, and it was only for like $10. And so luckily I have this folded up bill in my pocket and I'm covered in pink paint, pinkish or green, pinkish, no, pink paint. Because I remember the fact that when I unfolded the dollar from my pocket, I thought in my mind, in the dream, I was like, dang, he's gonna probably make an excuse or he wants green money in return. But the dollar was covered in pink paint, like on the front of it. The back of it was fine, but the front of it was covered in pink paint. And so I folded out the dollar and put it on like this, what looked like a podium, like an old school podium, like that people would talk in front of. It was like old wood, but it was still kind of like had the enamel, the smooth enamel on it. I put that, and it was across the room from him. He's sitting at the desk, and there's these two like kids, like an old teenage boy. He was like 17 maybe, and it was this girl. She was like 17, and he basically like I said, he's basically their father, I guess, but he also had them running numbers for him, I guess, like not running numbers, but basically helping like run his like warden. Like I said, he came off as like a warden, so like whatever he was doing, like as far as like a business, a loan shark or whatever. Like it was a weird dream, but yeah, like they were standing in the corner, and these are black kids, and like black, like native and black, like black kids, and that just put a thought in my head too. Like maybe it was during slavery times why everything was so like aged. But the truck I had was like a 70s, 80s old truck. But anyway, they were standing in the corner, in the room with him. They didn't look sad or anything. They just looked kind of fed up. Like they didn't want to be there, but they also like had their arms crossed, like, like his guards or whatnot. Not kind of like his guards, but like, wanting me to hurry up and give like whatever it is I needed to give him. And so I unfold this pink front dollar and I reached in my pocket. I felt the pink paint on it, the pink I felt the dry paint, and I was like, oh man, he's not gonna want this, so I'm not gonna be able to close this account. And so I'll close this loan out. But I placed it on the podium, I unfolded it, laid it out flat, pink side up, and I'm thinking in my mind like, oh man, he's gonna ask, what is this? And then sure enough, I was like, hey, look, I got it right here. Here's what I owe you, and I'm ready to just close this loan out. And so I turn around, the pink podium, or the wooden podium with the pink dollar on it, is across the room from them. And so a very small, like 10 by 10, whatever room. It's a little office with a bunch of books. It was an old wooden office, like everything's just old in there. But and he's sitting at the desk. I turn to him, and he says, "Well, I'm gonna need I'm gonna need cleaner money." And so I was like, "Well, okay." So I went to my messy truck outside. I went outside, and I was going down the steps, and I went out, and like I said, this is like a orphanage, sort of like lost Native and Black kids that became his children, I guess. And they're about to have dinner, and like a couple other kids, like grown adult kids or like little kids, like a mix of different types of children that are downstairs at the table ready to eat. And so I leave out of this place. I go to my truck that's in this little raggedy looking parking lot, like in a country small town. There was a gas station across the street that looked run down, and there was a big building across this, like a 4-story building across the street from this place. And this place itself was maybe a 2-story building, but I could kind of see through this 2-story warden orphanage type of place. It's kind of warden owned orphanage place. It was weird. But go to my truck, I dig through all this trash, right? So my passenger seat is full of, like, it's got a compartment. The front seat is pushed all the way up, which is interesting because the old car that I owned in real life, the front passenger seat was stuck to the front. It wouldn't roll backwards. Like you couldn't, it would recline, but it wouldn't strafe backwards, like, horizontally. So it was just pressed up to the dashboard. And there were trash bags and things and like food and all that. So I reach into one of the bags. It's got like fresh fruit, but then there's a mix of like trash, like not garbage trash, like nasty, but it's like paper towels crumpled up, and it was weird. And like old like lotto tickets. I don't even play lottery, so that was weird. And it had like this like wrap in there, like oh man, that stuff that's wrapped around boxes, the hard twine that's wrapped around boxes. It's made of hard plastic to keep keep big boxes closed. But yeah, that was in the bag too. But at the bottom I saw 3 $10 bills, and I was like, oh yes. So I grabbed for one of the 10s. I was only able to reach 2 of them, or maybe one of them or something, but like I was like, yes, I finally have this $10 that I need. So I couldn't grab the other 2, but I was like, let me go and just I got the one, let me go back up. So I closed my door, and I closed my truck door. Old whitish yellow truck with a bed, like it had like a regular pickup truck sort of vibe, but it was like Fred Sanford kind of, but whitish yellow, banana yellow colored truck. So I go back upstairs. I go to the front door, and the door is locked. And I'm like, oh man. So like in my heart, I'm kind of used to, so in real life, I'm sort of used to things like that happening to me, where I'm like, I try to do something, and like, this place is closed now, or we're shut down for today. And I've always had issues like that. And I'm pretty sure other people have too, but it just seems like it's happened frequently to me. I've improved with that, but that was the thing of my past, where I would always, speaking of that, that's the next thing coming up in the dream was used against me, something of my past. But I used to have this issue where like all the time I would try to go to a place and they would be closed, and I wouldn't be able to, do what I needed to do for that day. So I always had to wait the next day. But anyway, or either wait over the weekend, and that was the worst. But go to the door, and I'm like, man, why is it locked? I don't knock or anything, I don't want to seem obnoxious. But I was oddly calm about it. Like I said, because I guess in real life I was used to stuff like that happening. So, but in my mind I was raging, kind of like after all of that, trying to get this loan closed. And just to add a little excerpt here, that $10 felt like it was hundreds or more. And given the time frame of the dream, that's probably so. Back then, $10 was way more than what it is now. But yeah, I just wanted to add that. The girl that was upstairs, one of his teen daughters, I guess, or warden or orphan daughters or whatever. One of the two that was standing up in the office with him, she had opened the door, and three other orphans, not really small, but 12, 13, 14-year-old orphans, three of them came out. It was two boys and a girl, and then it was that girl that was standing up there with them before, looking like she was ready to get ready to go in and eat and get done with that process. But so it was the four of them out there with me, and she said, and it's crazy because I saw them come from inside. Like I said, I could see through the building a little bit, even though it was an old wooden building. So it was an old wooden building, but yet made out of glass. That is strange, hard to explain. But yeah, it was wooden glass. It was interesting. I could see right through, but saw them run out. Her from downstairs, her from upstairs, and them from the table inside, while the other kids sat at the table eating or just running around or whatever. And the other grown or teen, boy that was up there with him, just as impatient looking like the girl, he was at the table eating. And so, but these three other kids and this 17-year-old girl came out, and she says, I got an idea for you.